Thanks for joining us for our Biophilic Minute. Today we have with us Phan. She is an architectural designer with Shive Hattery in Chicago. Her current focus is in institutional and community development design. She has an interest in how our built spaces can dictate our human interactions and wellness. Phan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Can you share some evidence that supports biophilic design?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like concrete as evidence from like a research paper, but there's just many studies that state that nature has been proven to benefit humans who experience it. And it uplifts the human health and physically, and also the well-being, mental well-being. And then just from kind of like nonprofits that I worked with here in Chicago, there's a nonprofit that works with underserved neighborhoods and how they have a job training program that they do organic farming as well. And so for these neighborhoods, not only do they get to do kind of like it's two birds with one stone, not only are they able to get that job training that they need, but also they are provided an environment to heal as well. And so I think, I mean, just seeing it happen is evidence for me.
Sure, yeah. How are you using biophilic design in the corporate or healthcare environment?
We're starting to see a lot of kind of preserved plant products that are being used, kind of like a happy medium in between real plants and fake plants. Just because there is sometimes concerns using real plants, but then also like moss walls seem to be a very popular feature right now. But then also just kind of like mimicking nature in different ways. For instance, like glass film, or just kind of used in wall covering as well.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I see that more and more all the time in the different spaces that I personally go into. So I think that's really helpful. What is the most overlooked area that people are missing out on to incorporate biophilic design, in your opinion?
I feel like when people think about biophilic design, they think, oh, just plants. And just want to reiterate that it's not just plants. Kind of like in the healthcare sector, like I was saying before, they have concerns about real plants and how there's potential pests, and then also trying to do the appropriate like care that requires specific lighting, temperature, water, fertilizer, and humidity that comes into play. So biophilic design really is about translating those natural elements into indoor spaces and kind of connecting with your five senses in design. And so thinking about like just lighting, how we can transform lighting to match our circadian rhythm. So for instance, like in the morning, having warmer lighting, in the afternoon, having brighter lighting, and then in the evening, just softer lighting. Just to kind of match our rhythm inside. And then sight, like I mentioned before, with the glass film, being able to use patterns that mimic nature. That's had a project where even just kind of like using glass film and how the light hits it, and then there's kind of patterns that kind of go onto the ground with different reflective lights. That was such a beautiful kind of, the clients really loved it. It was just a beautiful kind of like very simple use of pattern, and also use of nature, the light coming from outside the window. So sight, that's important. Use of like hearing, sound. So you can even do kind of ambient white noise, because if you think if you're outside, like it's not quiet. You have the birds, you have the wind. Just being able to use those kind of noise. A lot of some of the landscape architects we talk to too, like they like being able to provide water features, just because of the sound of water is healing as well. And then say the use of smell is important too. That's why upgrading HVAC systems are so important, just being able to filter in more natural air into your space. Use of taste. And so one of the things about kind of like well-being is being able to provide like spaces where like you can eat and relax and be able to snack and enjoy, but also not just like, candy or chocolate, but being able to have more access to things like healthier snacks as apples or carrots or even cucumbers or just examples.
Mhm.
And touch with all the new products that are out there. There are some like really fun 3D wall products that have like different patterns. And for someone like myself, where I am kind of like, I have a mind of a child, I like touching the walls and like feeling the kind of like the wave pattern to it.
Yeah, those are all really great examples of how to incorporate biophilic design into your space. So thank you for sharing those. What is the best advice you can give to improve well-being in a space?
I feel like the most important thing is being able to take responsibility over your space and over shared spaces. A lot of concepts from kind of also just kind of revolve around operations and involvement from organizations, stakeholders, and their occupants. Like standards that kind of start addressing kind of like mental well health or just being the flexibility for their occupants or employees. Kind of what fits your schedule or what fits for you, if your lifestyle. And those kind of like operation standards, they address mental health and also just kind of community support, knowing that you're always supported by your organization and the people that are around you. Like you can, I feel like there's some spaces that you can have the most like well built biophilic design, but some of that kind of doesn't matter if like people aren't actually using it. And so if your occupants feel like they have a sense of responsibility or pride and participation of what makes their like space theirs, um, that promotes community and also is like an aspect of kind of biophilic design as well.
Sure. Yeah, that's so important. Well, just really appreciate you sharing today. These are really some great tips, and I know that our viewers are going to love taking those for themselves and being able to incorporate those into their spaces. So thank you for sharing. For more biophilic moments like these, please join us at olicreative.com.